It's been quite a roller coaster in jumping for Canada. At the 2008 Olympics, of course, we won an individual gold and a team silver, our best performance in jumping of all time at the Olympics. Eric Lamaze and Hickstead topped the FEI rankings. Again, the first time a Canadian pair has done that in nearly a generation. So it was a time of great highs. But of course, the death of Hickstead was commensurately a terrible blow both to the team, to the sport in Canada, and of course to Eric personally. It was a terrible blow to him. My heart really does go out to him because I know that Hickstead was, of course, the greatest show jumping horse in the world at the time of his death, by any measure, objective or subjective. But more than that, for Eric, Hickstead was a part of his life. Even if it were possible to find another horse who was Hickstead's equal as an athlete, which of course would be near miraculous, I don't think anyone could replace the emotional, dare I say it, spiritual place that horse held in Eric's life. Having said that, he has committed himself to putting himself forward for the team at the Olympics in London. He has acquired a few new horses, a couple of them just under the wire in the last week of December, because as you may know, according to the International Olympic Committee rules, horses have a nationality just like human athletes, and for a horse to represent Canada at the 2012 Olympics, that horse would have had to have been registered as a Canadian horse no later than the 31st of December 2011. Hickstead's passing in November made that quite a tight timeline. So he has declared several horses. I'm not certain which one of them would be his mount were he to be chosen for our team, but of course we have high hopes for him. Absolutely. One of the real challenges within jumping is that because there's such a large and active community of competitions around the world, at any one time our jumpers might be on 3 or 4 different continents. And this is, as well as their sport, this is their livelihood. We as a national team have to be reasonable about the demands that we place on our athletes. We don't want to disrupt their ability to earn a living, to be honest, or disrupt their lives. On the other hand, this is a team sport, and it does mean that we do have to bring them together as teams. Sometimes we're able to do that at competitions or areas that they're all planning to be at anyway. It's not unusual for all or nearly all of our declared athletes to be at Wellington during the winter, and many of our likely prospects to be at Spruce Meadows. So when happenstance brings them together, we take advantage of that. But in addition to that, we do have training camps that are compulsory for anyone selected for the jumping team. Again, we have been fortunate in our coach for jumping in having Torchy Miller, and I have to say personally, he really is the elder statesman of Canadian equestrian sport. He is standing down after these Olympics, and we've already chosen his successor, Mark Laskin. And fortunately, Mark is apprenticing to Torchy, so they're working together at London as a way of bringing Mark up to speed for the world, the post-Torchy world after the Olympics. But I really do think that the ability of our jumping team to function as a team is in large measure down to Torchy Miller. This is equestrianism in general, and jump is no exception. It's a sport of large athletes and larger egos, and as a result, the ability to herd people together, to persuade them to listen to someone and to listen to a common voice is not an easy task. It's not an easy task at all. Torchy's been able to achieve it effortlessly because he is so well respected, universally well respected in our sport in Canada. In many ways, I would describe our jumping coaching program as what Torchy says goes, and that is actually, and there are few people in Canada, few people in the world who would be able to marshal that much talent so easily. I really will. I know that he will still be active in the federation and the team after he retires as our coach, but it will be a great loss to us after he goes. And I would say that the proof of his abilities was at the 2008 Olympics more than anything else. Of course, we had very significant victories before those Olympics and have continued to perform very strongly afterwards. The one thing that really struck me about our performance in China, particularly in jumping, is that the athletes worked together well as a team. They assisted each other, they gave each other advice. I do not believe we would have done as well. We would not have done nearly as well in China had we simply had 4 individual athletes. We did that well because we had a team, and we had a team of athletes who worked well together, and we had a team led by a coach who commanded the respect.
And they were all